Hi, I'm Federico Cornejo.
And I'm Pascal Reina.
And we're going to compare and contrast ancient Greek rationalism to the medieval Catholic Church.
While Greek rationalists and the medieval church are similar in that they both splinter into controversial sects and attempt to set standards for morality, they differ in that rationalism was reason-based while the church's ideas were faith and scripture-based.
We're going to talk about two similarities between Greek rationalism and the medieval Catholic Church, and one difference. This is our first similarity. Greek rationalism and the medieval Catholic Church both splinter into controversial sects.
According to John Butler, Socrates believed that true insight comes from within, while Plato believed that we need abstract thinking, especially math, to find truth. Later, Aristotle postulates we must rely on our senses to find truth. Much earlier, Parmenides decided that we can't rely on our senses to find truth.
Clearly, Aristotle and Parmenides' ideas conflict. This contradiction proves that Greek rationalism was split into sects and contrasting systems of thought.
According to Ray Shelton, author of From Death to Life, Greek rationalism consisted of Eleactics, Platonianism, Aristotelianism, and Augustinianism.
This particular evidence details the sects of rationalism, justifying how their differences in opinion can change rationalism into controversial and self-decided belief systems.
More doctrinal developments further intensified the obvious East-West division of the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church.
As Dr. Ekman detailed for us, the church was split into several sects, separated by doctrine and geography much like Greek rationalists.
The significance of these splits is a later separation and variety of human beliefs. For example, there are in Dallas Greek Orthodox churches, Roman Catholic churches, rationalists, empiricists, Platonists, Augustinians, and many more people of separated beliefs. Rationalism was reason-based, while the church's ideas were faith and scripture-based.
Ray Shelton later states that rationalism is the theory of knowledge, which holds that reason, Latin ratio, is the criterion and source of knowledge.
This source denotes that rationalism is solely based upon reason and that reason is the only true source of knowledge. This directly conflicts with the church's beliefs.
Cecil J. Schneer, author of The Search for Order, said that Greek rationalism is itself synonymous with an approach that emphasizes explanations that are both logical and replicable by others trained in Greek philosophy.
Cecil Schneer, in a roundabout way, states that rationalism is based on ideas of logic and replicable data. Isaiah states that God has total control, and that he makes well-being and calamity, or in other words, that he controls situations in human life.
The church tries to explain natural occurrences through faith because of their belief in the Bible's teachings. In Isaiah 47:5, Isaiah states that the Lord told him, I form light and create darkness. I make well-being and create calamity. I am the Lord who does all these things.
The church's idea of letting go and giving God trust directly conflicts with the use of human reason only for information and ideals that explain things that happen in our world today.
The causality of this information is that the Bible is the source of faith-oriented reasoning. For example, Isaiah 45:7. For this reason alone, the church bases their explanations for events in this world on the Bible's dictation of God's control. Rationalists have this belief because they lack a faith system to base their beliefs on. In all, they had to answer the question, why did this happen, through reason and logic.
The significance of this information is that the beliefs of rationalists are an important part of history because they led to the ideas behind math and geometry, and then played a large part in technological advancements in Europe and the continent we live on today, in the Renaissance and the migration to the Americas. The belief of the church impacted history through political Europe and the beliefs of people that developed our government and the government of many countries of Europe. Furthermore, the church's ideas led to the conflict of science, reason, and faith today, as did rationalism and its ideas.
Lastly, the principles of Greek rationalism and the Catholic Church both attempt to set a standard for morality.
Plato, a prominent Greek rationalist, wrote many philosophical works, namely the Republic. In his Republic, he questions, isn't it clear that many men would choose to do, possess, and enjoy things that are opinion to be just and fair? Book 6.
We can see that Plato has defined what it is to be honorable and what an honorable man does, just like the Christian Bible does.
Socrates also once said that what is dear to the gods is pious, and what is not is impious.
Socrates attempts to define what is pious, or what is sincere and with good intentions, as pleasing to the gods. This, in the Christian faith, is described as good, loving, and compassionate. Although this may not have been how the Greeks defined it, they both attempted to define it.
According to Moses' hot dog bun, stone tablets, Christian standards for morality are as follows. Thou shalt not have other gods before me. Thou shalt not worship false idols. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor thy father and thy mother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's things. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
God's 10 Commandments directly forbid lying, stealing, cheating, murder, and many other immoral actions. For Christians, these rules are what define morality, much like Plato and Socrates defined morality themselves.
The causality of this information is that Greek rationalists attempt to define morality because they believe that moral sound societies would be successful. The Christians' love of God and intention to revere Him led to their own following of the 10 Commandments and their scriptural definition of morality.
The significance of this information is that the Greek rationalists' ideas of citizenship and morality led to the principles behind the development of the democratic government system that we still use today and owe to the Greeks, and the rich culture that survived centuries of cultural diffusion being regarded as classical and heralded. The Church survives today and has heavily influenced the politics of our governments over time, and has influenced the founding of the government and society we live in today.
Just in case you haven't been listening, this video has effectively compared and contrasted ancient Greek rationalism to the medieval Catholic Church.
This has been a
Jesuit World History,
All Project and a
Federico Cornejo and Pascal Reina production.
Thanks for watching, and peace out.
According to Moses' hot dog bun,